We were just discussing with our colleague Greg Storr about how the Supreme Court is simply allowing this to move forward for now. This is by no means a final ruling, but is it one that California would have to accept if the justices ultimately do decide on the merits, that the suggestions the President Trump has pushed the U.S. Postal Service to make regarding mail-in ballots do move forward?
We're a long way from that. This is a purely procedural order. Ruling on things called standing and justiciability, meaning is it ripe? Is it ready to be even a case that can go to court and be decided on? And so it's not anywhere near the merits stage yet. They haven't talked about the merits. They were waiting for a final rule to be issued on this executive order relating to, in our view, the unconstitutional, unlawful use of the U.S. Postal Service to undermine free and fair voting by eligible American voters across the country. And so we are prepared to bring a lawsuit on the final rule now that the rule is final, and that will tee up the merits, the substance of the executive order, its legality, or as we argue, lack thereof. So that will go back to federal trial court and appellate court. And should it ever get to the U.S. Supreme Court, of course, as we always do, we will honor their ruling. But we think we will win this case in every court, including the federal trial court, the appellate court, and the U.S. Supreme Court.
We appreciate your weighing in on that, Attorney General, and welcome back to Bloomberg. We invited you to talk about a number of issues, including Paramount's merger with Warner Brothers. You were supposed to meet with Paramount today, and there's been a lot of reporting about this, that you canceled that meeting, accusing the company of playing games. What happened?
Yeah, I pulled down the meeting today because, in my view, Paramount was being too cute. They were playing games. They were disclosing through leaks to the press information that's supposed to be confidential and lying about it. They were leaking lies to the press. And in order to have productive and legally compliant settlement negotiations, they need to be confidential. There needs to be some trust in the room. There needs to be opportunity to share ideas, be candid, maybe be creative. And they undermine that by violating the rules of engagement. It's something that most attorneys never do, but they decided to do it. And so that was a problem for us. We did have some preliminary early settlement negotiations on Friday. And then on Saturday and Sunday, we started reading about the alleged substance of those conversations in the press, where they were naming sources that had to be Paramount Warner Brothers. So that doesn't work. That doesn't fly. So we rescheduled, or we took down the meeting until such time as they are prepared to follow the rules.
Well, we should note that Paramount, in a statement, denied being the source of any leaks, Mr. Attorney General. They said they share your concerns about the public discussions and misreporting that has surrounded this deal. Quote, as we have assured the Attorney General's office, Paramount has not been the source of any of the leaks or of any of our confidential discussions with the AG's office. You obviously understand this went down a very different way. But has this meeting been rescheduled, or does that statement indicate that you and Paramount have not found a way to see eye to eye on movement forward?
It's completely on them. And let me just first say this idea that they're not responsible. Someone's responsible for the leaks. They don't just appear out of thin air. They have an army of attorneys. They have an army of consultants. They need to figure out who's responsible, put a lid on it, end it, and move forward in the appropriate way. And it's up to them whether they can, are interested in, or will do that. As soon as they do, we're ready to sit down and talk. So that can be soon if they can address the issue soon.
I'm sure your phone is ringing a lot lately, Attorney General, not just with the legal representatives on both sides of this, but from politicians in your state. There are growing calls to reach a settlement for the sake of jobs, for the sake of the Hollywood industry. And one of them is Governor Newsom. Are you now fundamentally at odds with the governor over this deal?
Not at all. I think I'm fundamentally consistent with him, with Governor to be Javier Becerra, with others. You know, we've always said, I've said it before, I'll say it now, I'll say it in the future, we always prefer to be able to resolve disputes in the boardroom, not the courtroom. If a opposing party in one of our lawsuits in good faith and sincerely reaches out to us to try to productively resolve a case, we'll take that meeting and we'll work to resolve the case. So what they're asking for is what I've always said. And what I will do here, if Paramount can get themselves in order and fix their issues with these lying leaks and engage the right way.
Well, when we consider the engagement and what you hope to get out of it, Mr. Attorney General, what in your mind would resolve your concerns around consolidation and eroding competition? Might it require the sale of Paramount Pictures or Warner Brothers Studios? Is there a way to address your concerns without that?
Well, we've always said that we want structural remedies, robust structural remedies. I've said that publicly, and Paramount knows exactly what that is. Whether they will propose them or agree to them is up to them. But they've continuously proposed behavioral remedies, like promising to behave in a way in which they make 30 movies a year, I think for 3 years. That's a behavioral remedy. It's not structural. So we've identified 3 markets in our complaint with respect to widespread theatrical release distribution, blockbuster release distribution, and cable channel licensing. And there is if they want to propose a structural remedy for each of those markets, we'll listen.
Last time we had a chance to speak, Attorney General, it was on the eve of the trial against Meta starting, something that you have helped to spearhead as one of 4 attorneys general. How is the trial proceeding? And will we hear from Mark Zuckerberg?
We think it's going very well. The evidence has been coming in, as we hoped, very compelling, providing all sorts of evidentiary support for our allegations, which I think are very strong, that Meta designed and deployed a dangerous product that hurt the mental health of kids, and they lied about it. And we do have Mark Zuckerberg on our witness list, and we're prepared to call him.
Well, do you have a sense as to whether or not he will come on the witness stand? What timeline could we expect to see Mark Zuckerberg actually present in the trial?
I don't know the exact when, and there's some parts of the trial that are dynamic and,
Sure.
we can do different ways. Of course, we'd want to work with him and make sure that we can get him at a time. We always try to work together with the witness. So I don't know exactly when, but he is someone that we plan to call in this trial. He is in our witness list. Everyone expects him to testify at some point in this trial. And so when exactly that will be, I don't know.